Hello, welcome to Hamar Experience. This is Belinda Tato from Ecosistema Urbano. We're here in Hamar for the redesign of the Stuttgart main square. I'm happy to be here with my colleague Noah Pierre, who will be moderating the chat and will be forwarding me the questions afterwards. And also I will later introduce you to my two guests, and we are very happy and proud to have with us today. It's been a very hectic week. We have so many things to do and to get the thing moving. We have a lot of meetings, we have many things going on. And Sunday was a very rainy day, so it was not so nice. And today we have to work a lot, and it's so sunny that we really feel like running away from here. And also, also last evening, Jose Luis and Domenico, who drove all the way from Madrid, 3,100 kilometers. They just arrived yesterday, they arrived safely. They brought a beautiful model for the new Stuttgart, and that we will also be displayed in the opening of an opening event. Okay, today we're gonna speak a little bit about the technology workshops that will be happening in the week 39, and that means from the 26th to the 30th of September. And the community activator, the activator for these technology workshops will be Bjart Itre Arne, who is with us today, and we will have the pleasure to interview him. Okay, what else? This, as I said, this week has has been very active. We have held different kind of meetings with different kind of people who are engaging in the process and in the project in many different ways. Noah was meeting today with the cultural department at the Communion, and they are very excited about the project, and they will find a way to engage the sports, the disabled and the youth associations in this process too. She also met Victoria from Pearl, which is the Partnership for Education and Research about Responsible Living, and we will show an interview we made her next Thursday. It will be on the blog, so just look it up. We also have the confirmation from Moki Rian, who is the local person to conduct the people workshops together with our friend and colleague and sociologist Andres Walliser. So also check the blog for an interview with Moki. We also met the mayor, and we will also have the pleasure of interviewing him in one of these Hamar Experiences live sessions, so we will soon know when this session will take place. We also are in the process of coming to an agreement of collaboration with the Cultural Rucksack project, which is a project engaging education. This year is a project that runs every year and engages the children into a creative process. Each year the topic is different, and this year's topic is engaged and related to the Stuttgart project. So we will have the opportunity to have 1,300 ideas from 1,300 different children, and I think that's very exciting and it's very good for Hamar, and it will be an information very useful as we are designers to bring and to put it into the project. Also, we've been very lucky these days because we had the opportunity to visit some Norwegian houses for beautiful dinners and evenings, and it's been very nice. The Norwegian houses to me are like kind of IKEA catalog. Everything is very perfect, very beautiful. The kids are beautiful, all blonde. Everything is very well displayed. Anyway, we had beautiful dinners, and I want to thank those who gave us this opportunity to see a Norwegian house, which is quite different. Everything with a beautiful garden with green grass. Well, very nice. Also, well, I would like to say that. We are at the moment, we're still working at the Rothuset, which is the main building or one of the buildings of the Kommune. We are now in the progress of arranging our new working space in the Bazaar building, which is just in front of Stuttgart. So we will be soon moving there, and that will be our office space and also workshop space and the place to meet those who have interest in the project and who want to know more about it. Okay, I just want to make a brief summary of last session. Last session was with two people from Hamar University. It was Stein and Jens, and it was very nice to have the point of view from the university. The Hamar University College has got like 1,700 students coming every year, and there's around 70 people from all over the world, from different countries. And it's really interesting to think and to have this into account as we are to design a public space, in the sense that at the moment I don't know where the young people meet. If Stuttgart could become a great opportunity for them to have a kind of nice space for meeting and so on. Well, I also want to remind you about the 5 topics. The workshops will be around 5 different topics. The first one is technology, and how technology can actually be incorporated into the public space as another feature, as another characteristic, so that we can actually bring some of the activities which are happening on the internet to the public space. How can we link the physical with the digital in a more creative and cooperative way? Then it's about the activities. What kind of activities should a public space be able to hold, and how can we design such a flexible public space in order to allow these activities to take place. Then the third workshops week will be around environment, and that is obviously we have to take into account the environmental conditions, and everything is around energy at the moment. So how can we as designers incorporate this as a main feature also in the design of the square? Then the fourth one, which is around people, is we want to design the best public space, but also a very inclusive public space, so that everyone would feel comfortable in it. So how can we respond to the different kind of users, that is the youngsters, the disabled, the professionals, the elderly, the children, the immigrants, everyone, so that how can we respond to everybody's needs and dreams, of course. And then the fifth one is about seasonal strategy. We understand the seasons are quite extreme here in Norway. It's really amazing, for example, to see the Lake Mjøsa in summertime, which is a sailing lake, it's a bathing lake. It's amazing, it's like a beach. And then during the winter time, it's really like a skating and skiing place. It's completely solid, and well, it's quite extreme, and also the light conditionings are very, very different all throughout the year. So from that perspective, we really want to provide a public space that behaves differently in the summer from the winters, because the conditions are already very different. Okay, so I just want to remind everyone that if you are interested in taking part in any of these workshops, you just have to email us to dreamhammer@gmail.com. Let us know about your name, and the workshop you want to take part, and that's it. And also, for finding further information on the workshops and times and everything, you just have to visit our website, which is dreamhammer.org. Okay, I'm just having some look at the chat, but my friend Noah will keep me informed afterwards. Okay, and also I just want to remind too that the online workshops are open for registration. So these workshops are Tactical Urbanism by Ethel Barahona and Paco González, and Public Space and People, which is by Andres Balicer. These 2 workshops will take place in the month of October. So we invite you all to check the information, and if you find it interesting, I think it would be great if you can join us. And now I will invite my friends and guests to join me, please.
Okay.
Okay, hello. Here I have, excuse me. No, okay. On my right hand side I have Bjarte Itre Arne. Hello, Bjarte.
Hello.
And here on my left is Terje Berg.
Yes.
Yes, something like that. Okay. Bjarte is a music teacher, journalist, who runs his own consulting company, which is Creative Coupling, And I like the name in English better because I understand it, which is creative connection.
Yeah.
And I like that because Ecosistema Urbano, we are very much creative connectors as well.
I've seen that.
Yeah. He has worked as a scriptwriter, composer, musician, producer, and has created several TV series for youngsters. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Already. Okay. And here, Terje Berker. Okay. He's a technology generalist who lived in Japan for a while. When he was back in Norway, he studied cosmology, which is the study of life, universe, and everything, which sounds very poetic and very intriguing and inviting. He became in contact with what would later would be called the internet, and he started a career in electronic communications and afterwards in nanotechnology. And I think your nickname at the moment is Mr. Nano.
For some, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I would like you to give us some kind of information regarding what is your connection to Hamar, for how long have you been here, or where are you from in Norway, what brought you here?
Okay. I came here in the 70s, planned to study as a music teacher, but after a while I switched that into journalism. So I went to Oslo, but I came back in the 90s, and then I've been into Norwegian Broadcasting Corporation. So I got into a local independent company called Videoøst at that time, now Fabelaktiv, and was there for 15 years, I think. So most of my time I spent in different medias, radio, newspaper, TV and film. Yeah. Until 2 years ago, I decided that I don't want any longer to be a cultural bureaucrat. I was into the Norwegian Film Institute in Oslo, and I had to go to spend 4 hours every day on traveling. So I said, I want to be a managing director of my own life.
Yeah, that's
so then when I started Creative Cobbling.
Very good.
Yeah.
And what brought you to Hamar, or when?
That was once the kids started coming. It was in the early 90s. We lived in Oslo, and which we didn't feel was a nice place to let the kids grow up in. So then we put a ruler around Gardermoen, because I was traveling all over the world. So I said, okay, within an hour's travel from Gardermoen we will settle. And
exactly, that's Hamar.
Got in there.
Gardermoen is the international airport?
Yes, that's the international airport. So, and also, perhaps we'll come back to that, because Hamar has one of the, it's a secret, but it has probably the best electronic infrastructure in Norway.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So if you just want to use it, it's several gigabytes per second.
Oh, really?
Of fiber optics lying around in the streets.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Today.
20 meters from Stortorget.
Yeah. So working all over the world, working virtually, that became rather important to have good electronic communication.
Oh, yes, of course. Okay, and as a Hamar citizens that you are both at the moment, what do you find the most exciting in Hamar, or what is the, I don't know, a beautiful day as today, what would you do?
Well, as my childhood was in the west of Norway, a place called Dale with very high mountains. So when you have got your quota of that, it's very nice to be in Hamar when we have this flat, lazy landscape, which I like very much. So that's one of the reasons. I like the nature here. I like the surroundings and the town, of course. So, yeah.
What about you?
Well, I like the fact that it doesn't take long to sort of get anywhere. That's. I mean, if you live in a large city like the metropolitan areas around the world, it's more of a day's trip to get from one side of the city to the other. Here you can decide a couple of minutes before you want to go somewhere and say, okay, well, we'll go to the shops, we'll go to the mall, we'll go to the movies, and within 10 minutes we can be in the middle of the Norwegian nature. And not see anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
We even have the nature inside the town, because if you want to go skiing, you can do it in Hamar, or you can go 10 minutes outside Hamar and go alpine, whatever you want. So
that's quite impressive.
Yeah, if you're into sports and like sports, this is a good city to work on that. Yeah.
And regarding the project Dream Hamar, what do you dream for Hamar?
I found the Dream Hamar project very open, very inviting, as I have understood it, and a big chance for the citizens in Hamar now to involve and interact and really say what they mean and what are their needs and what are their dreams of Stortorget especially. So I found it very inviting, exciting.
Do you think that that really people would like to take part in this and have a word for the Stortorget's future?
I hope so.
I hope so too, but I'm asking you.
It depends if we can trigger them, and perhaps be a little bit of a little bit annoying. Perhaps talk about things that people can react to. I mean, if it's more of the same, then there's not too much interest. But if it's something different, then, like Monty Python said, something completely different.
But I think the timing is quite good, because in the spring we had some public meetings concerning the development of Hamar and the identity of Hamar at Hydranten. And it was 5 meetings, I think, and it was crowded. It was a lot of people showing up and really they were engaged in the discussion. So I think the Stortorget project, Dream Hamar, is a natural follow-up from that, even if it's not directly connected. I feel the timing is very good now, so I will be very surprised if people don't come and participate in this very open, inviting project.
And for example, from your experiences, from your trips abroad and all over this world or around Norway, what kind of memories do you have from public space that you can recall and see that is something that you really experience as something very positive?
A couple of years back, well, a little bit more than that, but never mind. I sat on the train from Gardermoen up to Hamar after having been in Washington, and there was on a meeting for what's called World Development Federation, I think it was. They had just published a report calling the 10 reasons why regions prosper. And I was sitting on the train going up to Hamar, and I said, number 1, check. 2, check. 3, check. The only thing that was missing on that time was visionary politicals. Yeah. And
which party is that?
Well,
I mean,
has done anything to do with the parties, but I mean, you're here, so somebody has gotten a vision.
Of course,
so
I agree with that.
But otherwise, there's electronic infrastructure, there's nature,
resources.
There's an airport, there's resources, there's energy, there's well, 9 out of 10 of the things.
It would be nice to write a post in the blog about that, because
I
it's
can
just
do that.
The checklist is it's like 90% accomplished. So
maybe 100.
Yeah, well, let's say 95. Yes, but it's all. The future of cities is very much so much in the hands of politicians usually, that it really makes a difference from one region to the other, or from one city to the other, right?
I remember I came from Washington then, and I just spent a day at a shopping mall which had, for instance, a large green wall inside. I mean, to purify the air and to keep a steadier temperature and stuff like that. So when I work, I'm a little bit into things that are not what they seem to be. So, and you can use technology to bring the outside in and to bring the inside out. I mean, one thing is to look at the square as perhaps a living room, where instead of a TV screen, you have a large screen where you can follow local match or whatever. And technology allows you to do that. It's but we'll probably get back to it.
Okay, so a little bit about your professional backgrounds. Which kind of projects are you engaged at the moment?
At the moment, I work on different, what can you say, creative or culture-based business. There is one which many people in Hamar also are engaged in, is to kind of put some life into the old Nestle building, which was a factory producing baby food in Hamar.
When was established or founded?
Oh, that was 100 years ago.
It's a beautiful building made of brick.
I think the eldest buildings are from 1878 or something. And so what we try to do now is to gather a lot of people in creative and cultural business and come into the building and make a kind of center comradeship of creative people there. It's called Kokeriet. Yeah, it's a boilery. Brain boiler.
Okay,
yeah.
That's nice.
So I've been working at the project for 18 months, and hopefully within a year we are, if not inside, we are slowly moving into the building.
What kind of creative people are you aiming?
It's from video production, it's artists of different materials, it's photographers, it's a lot of, I think it's 20 different yrkesgrupper, what is it now?
Specialities or
profiles. Out of 30 companies, it's 20 different.
And what about you? What are you engaged at the moment?
Well, half of my time is spent working with water, keeping it pure and cleaning it up. And then the other half is going around lecturing at companies, high schools, universities about lots of topics, anything from the mining industry to medicine to fisheries and military.
Okay.
So because I've dealt with nanotechnology since '94, and everything is made out of atoms. So you can
even us.
Yeah, you can switch sort of. You can put a new hat on every day and just go into a new field of expertise.
Yeah. So it's about finding solutions for new kind of problems. And
new materials, new forms of energy, loads of stuff. New medicine. Yeah.
So we, as designers and architects who are in charge of the design of the Stuttgart, how can we bring that knowledge into the design? What should we know? So that should be incorporated in the design of public spaces?
The main thing is you have to sort of rethink your whole, connection to materials, because nowadays, as long as you don't sort of break any physical laws, you should actually start by thinking, what kind of use will I have? Will I use this material for? Is it going to be a screen? Is it going to be, whatever you want? And then you design the material afterwards. Because we're used to thinking about, we make things out of wood because wood has certain characteristics. But now you decide the characteristics first, and then you make the material.
Yeah.
So you can have wood that's stronger than steel, which they make over in Sweden. Or you can have plastic composites instead of brick walls, where the coating for the plastic can be a screen, a couple of nanometers thick, but it's thick enough to have a very large screen for a very low cost. So
that's very good.
And also especially to make the separation between the world we see. As you said earlier, it's having the digitally world connected to sort of real world, and to have the environment react to what you do, and have you react to what the environment does. So there's loads of, but again, I think be creative. Don't sit back and think that okay, I know how wood works, so because you can change it.
Of course.
Yeah.
What about you, Bjarte? How does a media person, you've been engaged into radio and TV shows for so many years, how did you position towards the internet and the new media possibilities? Did you see it as something very positive? Has it, I don't know, broadened the possibilities for a media person? Or?
Yeah, it has. I've always been very interested in how we could use new technology to give me as a producer or the viewers, the customers, a better life and a better experience. Tarja and me, we worked together for some years in a company called Innovation Studios, where we had the same focus. How can we use new technology in smart ways to give people better experiences? So maybe we can give you some of the ideas from the companies.
I expect you come to the workshops
Yeah.
and give us all your ideas.
Yeah, we had one. I can mention one. It's called live animation performance, which is a character which an operator can rule live with his voice and computer. So if you go to the screen and you start talking to the character at the screen, it's talking back to you. So maybe that could be something for kids visiting Stortorget to always meet this. Actually, we developed the bird, which is on Hamar's byvåpen.
The crest of Hamar.
Yeah.
The crest. I mean
There's a black bird, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
the cock of the woods, which for any reason has there, and we have developed that person. We didn't give him any name, but maybe it should be Einar. So that's one of the ideas. Maybe we can bring back because I've always been interested, even if I am a digital immigrant.
We're all digital because we were not born in the digital world.
I'm 10 years younger than Mick Jagger, but I'm a digital immigrant, and I always challenge myself to try out new opportunities. And I'm not a Twitter guy. I was for 2 weeks, but then I
But are you a Facebook guy?
Yeah.
Because everybody here, we find everybody is very much on Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook I've done a lot, but I couldn't see the reason why I should be on Twitter. Maybe you can tell me. So
we can discuss it in the workshop.
I saw you follow me, so I had to follow. But I think I can find out why I should be on Twitter also.
Well, we can discuss that. And how do you think we could actually incorporate these new technologies into the public spaces? Like, can you bring us any kind of example, or I don't know if you know any kind of university of technology research center who are, researching about this? How can we bring all these possibilities into the physical infrastructure?
Yeah, well, the thing is that most of the interesting stuff is being made by people who left the university.
Well, I mean,
it's okay. But the one thing is that the border between what is technology and what is not is becoming harder and harder to see. And everybody in Norway has one of these things which they, without actually thinking about it, use for a whole lot more than they ever thought possible. So whenever I go to a new place and I enter a square and I don't know what's there, I use applications like Yelp or others to just hold up and to look at the phone and say, okay, over there's a restaurant, and oh yeah, that's where the taxi was. So the technology gives me more information than it's actually there. And one thing I think that is important with using Stortorget, which is one of the places in Hamar which is best known by sort of everyone, whether they've lived here or not, is to keep the historical connections. So I mean, use a world browser, like it's called, and make it possible for me to go over there and look at the phone and see how it looked 10, 15, 20 years ago, and give you information about that building or that building and what used to be here, why does things have the name it has. I mean, Kokeria, why is it called that?
Well, maybe we also have to develop the future, the app for the future, so that we show how Stuttgart is going to look in 2 more years.
Yeah. Now that's I was thinking about that because you said with Kulturelle Skolesekk. I mean, Google is your friend, so they have made SketchUp available for everybody. So why not have the kids download SketchUp, connect it to Google Earth, and then let them make their version of Stortorget.
But then I think also you can, of course, use your smartphone and but for elder people, maybe big screens are also a possibility. So you can have permanent screens at Stortorget, which is touch-based or whatever, maybe voice interactive. So you can get some information from that, because you know, if you come as a tourist, you go to the tourist office and you get this brochure. It's a very good magazine, telling you everything you can do in this region, or you can have this small eat-out guide, where to go eat in Hamar. But I think you can also have a server or some technology which does possible for you to just dump it into your smartphone. So you bring with you a digital guide. And there is no, then you don't have that discussion about the opening hours of the tourist office. It's open every time. So it's not or either, but I think it's a supplement for the.
And it's also about some discussions that we had at the office about the tourist experience. That tourism is becoming less and less interested, in the sense that all the information that I want is there. So if you visit a place, you would actually search for something really new that you can only get physically, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. So maybe, you know, this redesign of Stuttgart, of any other public spaces, is about having a physical experience, which is different. It's something that you cannot have, or some other kind of information, or some other kind of interaction that you cannot get anywhere else. So, I mean, that's another thing that we are kind of exploring. And also because we know, you know, I have the picture, I was here last December, the 22nd, and it was 22 degrees below, and I found that really shocking. I mean, I know you are used to it, but it's like, wow, this is cold. And so I guess it really gets hard for people to get out of the house, and you're really, you know, looking for the car very much. So it's about also what kind of experience can we offer the people in this public space, so that it's not that you are staying there because you would get frozen, but you may pass by to see, you know, which color is the square today, or what kind of information is, you know, projected, or I can send my own message and share it with everyone else. So to give the physical experiences a plus, an added value, so that you cannot, you know, I know that all the touristic information is on the website already. It's like it's so amazing that you know, you can get so much information that sometimes you doubt what should a place offer you besides, so that it really makes a difference to visit it.
I think people want to interact, they want to play. Young kids, but also grown-ups and elder. So I hope to see a kind of keyboard at Stortorget, which you can use you can jump or use your feet, and then it's connected to the bells, you know, ringing every hour. So you can make your own melody and sit down and wait for the next hour. Okay. It's my tune on the bells.
As long as you don't get frozen in that hour.
No, but I think I hope to I will invite people to the workshop to come up with what's impossible.
Oh yes, of course.
What have you never seen, and I think I will challenge them to see what should we not have. And maybe you should that
of course.
city.
It's about dreaming.
It can be a playground. It can be people where we come together for big events and gather. It can be a place where you just want to sit down and watch other people. So it's very open today, and I feel that it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I hope so. Because we were also coming here in May, last May, Noah and myself, and we found, everybody was so excited about the May the 17th, and it really becomes a very kind of public event with everyone attending, and it's a very kind of social event. But we were wondering, why doesn't the Stuttgart have some other kind of May the 17th all throughout the year, so that it's not so, it can be unique as well, but can we provide a space to make this site exciting enough to gather so many people, maybe not only in May, but June, July, January?
Yeah, we were, both of us, involved a couple of years ago when you had Rally Norway. That was in January, and the Stortorget was crowded with people who just came to see the drivers. and of course there was an opening ceremony, very cheap one, not like Lillehammer 94, but we didn't have that same budget. But I think it's a place where it's natural for people to come if something's happening. So I hope that we can have different kind of screens, maybe a big screens where we can use for different occasions. You can even transmit when people cannot go into a very popular concert at the new Kulturhuset. They can screen it outside the building. Or when Hamar, the local soccer team, is in Champions League and they play against Manchester United, and you cannot go to Manchester, then you can go to Stuttgart and see how they beat Manchester United.
Yeah, of course.
That kind
if not, we just turn it off.
No, I mean, everything is digital today. Yesterday there was this memorial ceremony in Oslo Spektrum for the victims on 22nd of July, and then I heard it at the radio today that there was 1,000 people in a cinema watching it, because they wanted to be together, not sit alone at home and watch TV. And I think there's a lot of those kind of events where you want to go out and be together with people. It can be sports events, it can be ceremonies, cultural events. So that should be on Stuttgart.
Okay. What about the bazaar building? Do you think that's a great opportunity for the city as well?
I hope it's going to be Gregers. Gregers Bar.
What is that?
That's one of the three competitors.
Okay, that's confidential. Yeah. It's okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but
it's not confidential who the three are. I think so.
No. I think it's confidential. The winner. I don't know. We don't know.
Oh yeah, we don't. No. I go for Gregers.
Okay.
The others I'll give too, but
okay.
it's personal reasons.
Yeah. I think it's.
I used to be a barkeeper at Gregers.
Okay.
Volunteer.
Yes, I think it's a great moment. There's so many things going on. The Stuttgart is going to be refurbished and redone. Yeah. The new culture house is going to be built. Actually, the demolitions are starting this September, so it's going to be. Everything is starting, and then also this space in the bazaar building, which is being reactivated. So I think it's kind of a great moment. How do you feel about mobility issues here in Hamar? Because we see that there's many people going by bike everywhere, but then also because of the distances and also because of the winter kind of conditions, I think also many people rely on the car. So how do you feel about this?
Well, it's like everywhere else in the world. I mean, the distances around Hamar are quite far for most people, especially if you want to have the kids along. But as long as there is parking, and you see that on the 17th of May, I mean, the center of the city is closed off for cars. The people come. So there's really not much of a problem because, as you know, we've been here. The areas around Hamar are quite large, and you can. There's always places to put the car, and then once you do that, most things are within walking distance. bikes are nice. I mean, you have one of the greater promenades of Norway along Mjøsa.
Yes, I know.
So why you would bring a car there, I don't know.
Of course not.
But I mean, if you can connect what has already been done at Strandsund with giving people back the use of the bazaar building, which is sort of a jewel that is somebody has to polish up again. Then there's a natural connection of why shouldn't you then bike walk? Because you're already doing it. I don't think there's. I mean, it's a little bit also in the mindset of people. I mean, the people of Hamar isn't that connected to the car. I mean, we're not in the US. It's not my car and me. It's a car is something you use. So make it possible to put the car somewhere, park it, and then open up the streets for people, pedestrians, bicyclists, and kids. I mean, one of the I just read one of the big problems that we're facing today is that kids are losing their mobility. I mean, they're getting obese. They are not trained. They don't.
Not in Norway. Everyone
No,
cycling everywhere.
Even
in
Norway.
Well, everyone is so healthy.
Even in Norway, but I mean, the whole Strandsund of Hamar has shown that if you make an area where people can play, they will come and play.
Yes, of course.
So if you can do that with Stortorget, then that would be brilliant.
But I think one of the reasons why you use a car is not that you have to use the car to work or at home, but it's because you're going into the supermarket to buy some stuff after work time, and therefore you bring the car.
Okay.
So if the
Why
supermarkets
isn't
can
there
bring
a
the
delivery system from the supermarket? That's the first question we asked as we arrived. In August the 3rd. It's like, isn't there a delivery system because we cannot go by bike and with the groceries? And it's like, no. It seems like there used to be an internet, kind of ordering system, but it was maybe a bit too early on time, and people would not be on the internet yet so much. Anyway, so I think that's the business. That's the business now, because it will really make a difference. It's like, and I guess I really have the feeling that many people move by car because of the supermarket and because of the.
Yeah.
Am I
so
right?
It's technology again.
Again, of course, and technology and communication.
There have been some. They have tried it out, but I don't think many supermarkets have succeeded in that delivery system.
No, there are. I mean, you have to have a critical mass of people actually using it, and also one of the more special things about Norway when it comes to purchasing food and stuff is that most people most of the time eat at home.
Yes.
I mean, restaurants are struggling outside of sort of peak hours. And whilst, for instance, the English go to the pub or other people go to cafes and stuff for food, I mean, it's more or less ingrown into us that we'll bring the food home and we'll eat it there, and then we'll go out and do something else. So it's like Beata said, it's a very split thing. Either you go out shopping or you go out to have fun. And one thing necessitates a car and the other doesn't. So, having the technology, I mean, one thing that we used to work on a long time ago was actually to have the interactivity between what you're doing and what you want to do afterwards. I mean, I remember years ago we made a system in Scotland where you sat watching the soccer game, and there was an interactive commercial on the bottom saying that, okay, the break is 10 minutes away. Did you want a pizza?
And everybody will laugh. Yes, I do.
Because, I mean, that's one of the things that also that I agree with you that Stortorget has to be a place where you can physically experience things. But I think we're past the time where people will actually sit down and plan I mean, this thing has also made us non-planners. I mean, when we were younger, you had to sort of plan where you would meet your friends.
Yes, of course.
In advance. Now you sort of bring up the friend finder and see where is everybody, and then you decide there and then what to do. So there has to be a system around Stortorget and around the major areas where when I come in there, I can go there and I know something will happen, although I don't know what. And then the technology will help me decide what is happening and where should I go to see it. So, again, there's a mix between the digital world and the physical.
But what you see at the other square, the Östertorg, there are a couple of cafes, restaurants, where this part of the year is a lot of people there every day if it's not raining. And I think we should bring that also into Stortorget. It should be the Piazza Navone, with all the restaurants surrounded. But Stallgården is closed. We have to open up that. We have to have Greges, we have the Bassane, and the new cultural house with its restaurant. So I see. Maybe it can be in Piazza Navone.
And one other thing regarding the eating places, which I think also bring life and activity to the public space, is we also find, I mean, as visitors, because we just new arrivals, that it's funny to find that they have the same schedule and opening times for the summer and for the winter. Most of the places, it's like it really feels like this seasonal strategy is not so. It's not working so much. It's like the stores will close at 4 and they will close at 4 in winter and summer. And in the center, you really feel that now, today is beautiful weather, you really feel that the places should be open until later, because it will make it more active. And I'm sure people will come in if they were open, and also restaurants as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's sooner or later they will come, but you have to survive in the meantime.
Yes.
As a restaurant owner, so it's. But again, I think actually the seasonal differences are larger if you come from the outside, because the old Norwegian saying, "There's no such thing as bad weather."
There's weather.
No, there's only bad clothing. So it's,
Okay.
So you just put on more clothes, and like Bjarte was saying, I mean, the rally in Norway was in the middle of winter, and Stortorget was full, and I didn't see anybody suffering from hypothermia afterwards. But it's. Well, you can have different things happening. I mean, now we're just past the time where it rarely gets dark. It's more or less light all around. And in the winter, it's the total opposite. So the winter, I mean, you could have fabulous light shows at the center, which in the summer wouldn't sort of make sense at all, because you wouldn't see it. But those kinds of seasonal differences, yes. But I think most Norwegians are used to go out no matter how the conditions are. So
if something is happening which you find interesting, and then you go out. We had the World Championship of skiing in Nordic skiing in Oslo, and for the medal ceremonies there were 100,000 people.
Wow.
In Oslo, in the city of Oslo, watching the ceremony. Because the Norwegians won, of course, but not only. I think it was just to be there together, and that's what I mentioned. Stortorget could be the place where you want to go and experience things together.
Also, we as we were meeting a lot of people, we had the feeling that some people complained somehow that there's not that many playgrounds for children in the center. I don't know if your children are still babies, children, youngsters, or almost adults. I don't know in which age range they are, but I don't know if you have a comment about that.
You have Koigen.
Right, yeah, you have Koigen. I mean, it's.
Koigen is the skate park.
You have the skate park and the beach and stuff. You have
There's a small playground in the park nearby. Also, so
Yes.
there are places.
I mean, there is another difference between Norwegians and people elsewhere is that when, for instance, I have English friends or British friends, and when they talk about nature, it is not nature as a Norwegian would talk about it, because for a Norwegian, nature is unspoiled. There's nothing there. I mean, you have to make do with what is there. And when the British talk about nature, they talk about sort of the constructed nature. I mean,
So it's a different concept.
Yeah, the roads where you can take your bike and I remember once I took a couple of friends up in the middle of the mountains, and we came up there. We had carried loads of beer.
I thought it was mountain material.
and then we came up there, and they started to put on their jackets again. And they were going out for the beerstube. And I said, well,
there's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
That's the beer.
That's why we took the beer. So it's, yeah, I mean, if you're, especially if you're used to sort of living elsewhere, and especially abroad, and you come, then there's not too much constructed areas where kids can play and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there are.
But they have the forest.
They have the forest. They have big lawns. They have the sea,
and it's really wild, and it's just around the corner. It's just there. Mm-hmm.
So and in wintertime we have a lot of ice rinks for kids, small ice rinks.
And the lake.
But
but they don't use the lake. They use the small ones.
Is it dangerous somehow, or
you should try.
I will. And I will say if it is dangerous or not, right?
Goodbye.
It's very, very nice. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if you have any other kind of last comment, the last dream for Hamar, something that you would like to say, something that you would like to say to invite Hamar citizens to take part in the workshop.
Come and join the workshop.
I remind you that Bjarte is going to be the conductor of the workshops in technology. So, well, if you have any comment, just to invite everyone.
I just hope they will come and interact, and you will get more information if you follow the Dream Hamar web. So, welcome.
Okay.
I would just remind the politicians of Hamar that they have a large unused fiber optic network.
Yeah.
Really?
So they can easily make wireless communication available to everyone.
Well, you are bringing just something that we want to remark. One of the things that we want to do, not only for the opening event, but also for the 4 ones that we are going to be placed in the Bazaar building, is that we would like to transform Stuttgart into a Wi-Fi free for everyone. We really think that's the first step to make people come there.
Yep.
So we are in the process of finding a partnership or sponsorship or just the possibility to develop that. So I totally agree with that.
I can tell you who to call.
Okay. Okay. That will be a good help, because it's the first thing for the opening event. We want Wi-Fi in the whole spot. I guess everyone is on the mobiles, but especially the youngsters are very much on the that's also came up in the conversations that we have with different people. It's like, they record a video of someone skating, they want to upload it right away. They don't want to go home and they upload it. So it's like I always say, like, Wi-Fi is like water. If I go to a hotel and I want to have a shower, for sure, as well as I want to just to call home or to see whatever. So it's kind of a basis for quality.
I think it was a mayor of a Finnish town to say it might not be a birthright to have a Wi-Fi connection, but it's pretty close.
Okay, that's a good description of the internet. Okay, well, thank you very much. I have I just want to comment that the next experience will be broadcasted from Madrid. It will be Francesco, Marisa, and Lisa, who is.
And us?
And, yes, of course, if you want to join us. They will tell us about all the dreamhammer.org activities, the different activities on the blog, the experience and the online workshops, and also Lisa, who is the Norwegian architect who is working with Ecosistema Urbano in Madrid, will present herself and will maybe introduce us to some of the preliminary work. I also want to remind everyone that the online workshops registration is still open, and it will be open for a few more days, so I hope you find interesting. The information is on the blog, and just go over it and join us, because I think it's going to be very exciting. And thank you very much for those following. I saw it was Reyes, PC, I think he's from here, he's from the radio, I think.
Hi, PC.
Hi, PC. You know him better than I do. Hello, PC. Hello, Francesco. I don't know who else is around. Thomas, Goran. Okay. Thank you very much for following. If you have any comment or suggestion or question or whatever, just write us to dreamhammer@gmail.com and visit our website for updates and more information. And I think that's it. Is there any other question? No? Okay, thank you, Bjarte. Thank you, Terje. And we'll see you around. I hope we can do the most high technology public space, worldwide. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.